Hello, my name is Liene and welcome back to my channel and welcome to February wrap-up. So February was Cat Lady Readathon month and my aim was to read only cat books in February, so I succeeded. I didn't read as much as I hoped to do, but I still managed to finish 8 books. I'm gonna share them all now. The Readathon was what it was. I have 2 vlogs that you can watch that I have filmed during the readathon. I was sick for like half of the month, almost half of the month, so it didn't go as planned. I didn't do everything that I wanted to, but it is what it is. So for some books maybe there are more thoughts on the vlogs, but I don't really know. You have to watch the vlogs if you want to know what I say in those. They are linked in the description box. There is a link to Cat Lady Readathon playlist and all the Cat Lady Readathon related videos are there, so you can watch those back, or yeah. I think that's it for this intro part, so let's go through the books that I read in February. The first book I picked up was Mysteries of Thorn Manor by Margaret Rogerson. This is a kind of sequel. I don't know if it is considered a short story or a novella. It is a really short and small book. This is a sequel to Sorcery of Thorns by the same author. I really enjoyed that story and I really did enjoy this one too. My favorite character in that book and in this one is Silas, and Silas is a demon who has a cat form. He can be a white cat. We can see him here. So I really like Silas. I like how he is. He's a demon. He's not like a good person. He has dark side. Let's say that. We have a thing happening in this little book where some mysterious things are happening, and the people who are living in the house are trying to figure out what is happening and how to, like, it's a curse. I feel like it was a curse. So how to break the curse that is happening and what is the reason of it being activated. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I enjoyed the interactions, and as I said at the beginning, Silas. He's my boo. I really enjoy his character. Then I picked up She and Her Cat by Makoto Shinkai and Naruki Nagakawa. This is a collection of kind of 4 stories that all relate to women and cats. So each story is about a woman and her cat, or how she got the cat in her life, how it came into her life. And I really enjoyed reading about how the cats come into people's lives and how they change them, how they help people. Maybe it's because I'm a cat person. I'm a cat lover and I love my cat. I have one and she came into my life probably at the right moment for her because she's a rescue, but she's cute and I love reading about people and their cats and the relationship around that. I really enjoyed the book until the last story because it was my least favorite and I don't really know why. I feel like there was a male character that was too prominent in that story, and I felt like it crashes with the she and her cat, with the she. So yeah, I don't know, maybe it is weird that it bothered me a bit. So yeah, but still I really enjoyed those stories about cats and people. The next one I picked up was Latvian author Cat Stories, and this was quite a bit disappointing because I really enjoyed the first 2 stories. They were like fun stories involving cats. Then after those 2, like almost all of them, there were a few exceptions that I don't know, I didn't feel like there are anything special, like the stories, the theme of the story or the purpose of the story wasn't anything that I enjoyed. I finally continued with the Warriors series, and this is the 5th book in the first arc. I don't know what is the first arc called, because in Latvian it is just Warrior Cats. This book is named A Dangerous Path. It is, as I said, a fifth book in the series, and we follow a clan of cats and the life in the clan. There are multiple clans, and it is also about how they interact with each other, what are the rules, and how they divide the territories. And I really enjoyed this series. It's just the characters are cats. It's a clan of cats. They have their own hierarchy and the roles in the clan, what they need to do, and I find it really interesting. So I definitely need to not wait long and pick up the last book in this first arc. So I have finally finished it and I can move on to the next one, though I don't own the next one. I know that I feel like the next 6 are published in Latvian too, so I will have to pick them up. Then I have The Cat Who Saved Bugs by Sosuke Natsukawa. It's a story about a boy whose grandfather that he lived with passes away, and after his funeral he's getting ready to move to his aunt, and one day a cat mysteriously shows up, a talking cat shows up in the bookstore his grandfather owned and takes him onto the journey to kind of save the book. The more that time passes, the more I don't know what I think about this book. I enjoyed it while I read it, but for some reason the enjoyment kind of goes down. The good things I think about this book, I don't know why, but I did enjoy it. I enjoyed the reading experience of this book, but I don't know. I don't even know what to say about it. So he goes with the cat inside of kind of into another world where there he has to interact with people who maybe think differently about books. They treat books differently and he kind of goes to save them. But the more I think about it, the more things I find kind of, I don't know, not great, because we all can have a different kind of a relationship with books. Definitely is a thought-provoking book, I feel like, and I don't know what else to say. I feel like this was the messiest of the books I've talked about, so yeah, I still don't know what I think about it. The more I think about this book, the more confused I get of what I really think about the story. Then the longest book of the month, and the one that took the longest to read, is Song of Silver, Flame Like Night. I started this as the second book, I feel like, and I finished it like just, which one is this? Like sixth book that I finished. So I read a lot of books in between reading this one, because at the beginning I really struggled with getting into the story. This is a story about a girl. When her mother died, she left kinda a scar, an imprint on her hand that only she can see, like of a symbol. And she's trying to figure out what it means. At the beginning she works in this tea house as a song girl. She performs for the people who come in there. And she got in trouble and this boy saves her and they go on a journey and he agrees to help her figure out what is the meaning of the symbol on her hand. And I didn't really understand the magic system. It was hard time for me to wrap my head around it, but this book is inspired by Chinese mythology, and we have 4 demon gods: tiger, turtle, dragon, and phoenix, and they play a part in this story. This is the first book in a duology. I will definitely pick up the second one because I'm interested in how the story ends, because there were some things that happened that surprised me. In the end, I did enjoy the story. I don't know, maybe just the beginning of the month wasn't the right time for me to read it, because when I picked it up later, I read it quite quickly. And yeah, I enjoyed our main character, Lan, and her relationship with Zen. It was really interesting. I really did enjoy in the end. Then I finally read the second book in Before the Coffee Gets Cold series. So I read Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales of the Cafe by Toshikazu Kawaguchi. This is, as I said, the second book, and these stories are set in a cafe in which from one particular spot you can travel in time. You can go either in the future or in the past, but there are a set of rules that you need to follow. So I really enjoyed the rules part of all these stories. So you can travel from that one particular spot, and usually there is just one time a day when that can happen, and you never know when it will happen. Also, when you go to the past, you can't like leave the spot you're sitting, and you whatever you do, it's not gonna change the future. You can go in the past, do or say something else that is gonna change the time when you come back. So that's not what you can do. And also you have very limited time to spend in the past or future until your coffee gets cold. So I really like those rules. I don't know, I can't explain why, but I find it really interesting that there are these limitations. So because of those limitations, people really have to decide if they really want to go. What is the purpose for going to the past or to the future if there's nothing you can change? Also on this one, we find out more about the cafe and the people that live here. There are 4 stories we follow, like each story follows one person who travels into the past or the future, but we also follow the people who own the cafe and work there, and we find out more about how the cafe works, why some things are the way they are. I found that really interesting too, so I definitely really did enjoy this one. And now the last book of the month that I read was the most disappointing of the month, and it was Lily on Borjukaitis Bubas by Basil. This is a book by Latvian author Lily and the magical cat Bubas. This is about a girl who one day finds out that there is a magical cat and a big magical library in the apartment above her, and she starts with visiting the cat, and just things happen. There are a lot of like characters, animal characters, and they can talk, and just, yeah, I don't know. The story itself was quite messy. I didn't understand the meaning of all of it. And also the most disappointing part of this book is that I find that the illustration is beautiful. The illustrations throughout the book are beautiful, but at one point I noticed that the illustration style is not the same for all the illustrations, and the illustration doesn't match up with the description that is given in the story itself. And then I looked up that it is AI generated art. And I don't know. I want people art. I want illustrations that are actually created by someone. But yeah, this was disappointing. Though I really love the image on the cover, and it has a cat character, but yeah, the most disappointing book. Disappointing? Yeah, the most disappointing book of the month. Yeah, this is it. These were the books, the cat books I read in February. Please let me know if you participated in this readathon and what cat books did you read. So here are mine, and yeah, we already know which one is my least favorite. My favorite? I don't know, my favorite might be Before the Coffee Gets Cold, Tales from the Cafe, and I also enjoyed Mysteries of Thorn Manor. Like, those might be the 2 top books. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I see you in the next one. Bye!